What if Ty Borden's story isn't over just yet? What if Heartland Season 19 is about to bring back memories, secrets, and maybe even a surprise connection to the character we all thought we had lost forever? New footage, trailer moments, and behind-the-scenes talk are giving fans hope and raising a lot of questions. Let's take a deep breath and go back to where it all began. Because understanding Ty's journey might be the key to what's coming next. Ty Borden wasn't just a character on Heartland. He was the heart of the show for many fans. From the moment he rode into the ranch as a troubled young man looking for a second chance, Ty's story captured viewers in a special way. Over the years, we saw him grow from a quiet, guarded teen into a strong, loving husband, a devoted father, and a trusted member of the Heartland family. His bond with Amy Fleming became one of the most powerful parts of the series. It wasn't just romance. It was real growth. They faced hard times, fought through misunderstandings, and stood by each other through life's most painful and beautiful moments. When they got married and welcomed their daughter Lyndy into the world, fans felt like they had watched two people find the kind of love that lasts. But everything changed in Season 14. In one of the most shocking moments in the show's history, Ty died after complications from a gunshot wound he had suffered in the Season 13 finale. At first, it looked like he had recovered. He even helped Amy get back on her feet. But in a heartbreaking twist, Ty collapsed and died suddenly from a blood clot. It was unexpected, painful, and real, and it hit fans hard. The show didn't just move on quickly. Season 14 and beyond focused heavily on grief. Amy's pain was front and center. We saw her try to keep things together for Lyndy while also figuring out who she was without Ty by her side. The entire Heartland family was affected, and every character had to adjust to life after losing someone they loved dearly. But even though Ty was gone, his presence never really disappeared. His memory lived on in Amy's heart, in Jack's words, and in the way the family stayed strong. Lyndy, though young, seemed to carry a quiet strength, maybe a reflection of her father's spirit. For many fans, the show hasn't felt quite the same since Ty left. Some even stopped watching, feeling like the soul of the series had been taken away. Others stayed, hoping that the writers would find a way to honor Ty's story, maybe even bring part of it back. Now, with the Season 19 trailer making the rounds, that hope is growing again. Something in the tone, the pacing, and the emotions of those new scenes feels different. It feels like a shift is coming. And Ty might still have one more chapter left to tell. This is where things start to get interesting. The trailer doesn't shout, it whispers. It opens with a quiet shot of the Heartland Ranch at sunrise. A soft wind moves through the grass, the horses stir, and for a moment, it feels like time has paused. Then we hear Amy's voice. She says just one line. Sometimes you have to let go to find what's still holding on. That's when fans knew this season is going to hit different. Season 19's trailer is short, but packed with emotional weight. It doesn't give away everything, but it gives just enough to set the tone. Amy is seen standing in the field where she and Ty used to ride. She's holding something, a letter maybe, and her eyes are full of something we haven't seen in a long time. Hope mixed with pain. A few quick cuts show Jack fixing up the barn, Lisa looking through old photo albums, and Lyndy watching. Her mother from the doorway. There's no loud drama, no action-packed music. Just soft piano in the background, and the feeling that something big is coming. Something personal. Then comes the scene that has everyone talking. We see Amy walking into the loft, Ty's old space. She pauses, places her hand on the doorframe, and just stands there. The camera holds on her face as if she's hearing something, or remembering something. A flicker of emotion crosses her eyes, not sadness, but recognition. It's brief. But it says so much, and then a new character is shown, just for a moment. A young man, mid-20s, standing near the barn, talking to Jack. The conversation isn't clear, but the body language suggests something familiar. Is he connected to Ty? Is he family? A friend from the past? Maybe someone Ty helped when he was alive? Nothing is confirmed, but that single shot set off a wildfire of fan theories. In another part of the trailer, Amy is seen with Lyndy at a small lakeside cabin. They're laughing. A rare moment of peace. But right after that, a line from Amy plays over a dark screen. He never really left. Not where it matters. Those words, paired with the trailer's soft, emotional visuals, have sparked one big question. Is Ty returning? Not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, or through lost memories. Some fans think there might be dream sequences or flashbacks coming. Others believe the show will reveal something Ty left behind, a message, a journal, or a final gift for Lyndy. And then there are those who believe Ty's presence will be felt in a much more mysterious way this season. 1. Scene even shows Amy sitting at the kitchen table late at night going through old boxes. She pulls out a small object. We don't get to see what it is, but her reaction says everything. It hits her. Deep. The screen fades to black after that moment, leaving viewers with nothing but a haunting piano note. The trailer ends not with drama, but with stillness. A shot of the sunset, a voiceover from Jack saying, "Sometimes the past finds its way home," and just like that, it cuts to black. There are no spoilers in the trailer. No big plot twists, no loud announcements, but the way it's put together, the emotions, the silences, the small moments, makes one thing very clear. Heartland is returning to its roots in season 19. It's going back to the deep emotional storytelling that made fans fall in love in the first place, and somehow, some way, it feels like Ty Borden is a part of it. It didn't come from the trailer. It didn't come from the cast. It came from a whisper, buried deep in a forum post, then quickly deleted. A crew member's anonymous comment. A leaked production. Still. A quiet interview moment where someone said too much. Or just enough. That's how the season 19 leak started. At first, fans thought it was just speculation. But as more details began to line up with what we saw in the trailer, things started to feel real. Not confirmed, but too detailed to ignore. And if these leaks are true, Heartland Season 19 might be preparing for its most emotional twist in years. Let's break it down. The return that isn't really a return, according to multiple unverified but consistent leaks, Ty Borden will appear in Season 19, but not as a living character. Instead, his presence will be felt in 3 powerful ways. Through lost letters or video messages that he recorded before his death, through Lyndy's dreams or emotional visions where she talks to her father, and in at least one major flashback episode told from Amy's memory. One alleged storyline leak describes a box hidden in the barn, discovered by Jack while cleaning. Inside, a notebook, some old photos, and a short video message Ty left for Amy and Lyndy, something he recorded back in season 13 but never shared. The scene, according to the leak, is quiet. No dramatic music, just Ty's voice cracking a little as he talks about what he hopes for their future. If this leak is real, it could be one of the most emotional moments in the show's history. A mysterious character with a Borden connection. One of the biggest surprises in the trailer was the appearance of a new, unnamed character. A man in his 20s who talks to Jack near the barn. Leaked call sheets and casting info suggest this character may be Ty's half-brother, someone he never met, raised separately, and only now learning about the Borden name. The leak says this man arrives, in Hudson not looking for family but for answers. He's carrying a letter, written by Ty's biological father, passed on before his death. If this is true, it could open up a whole new layer to Ty's story, giving Amy and Lyndy a new connection to the Borden bloodline, and maybe even giving Jack a second chance at helping someone the way he once helped Ty. This storyline, if handled well, could bring healing, and maybe even a sense of legacy. Amy's internal battle, another leak talks about Amy's mental and emotional journey in season 19. According to a source claiming to have worked on the set, Amy will struggle with a decision, whether to move forward into something new, or hold on to Ty's memory even more tightly. There's reportedly a scene where Amy is offered a new relationship, not forced, but gently introduced. She hesitates. She goes to Ty's grave. She talks to him, not out loud, but through a voiceover of her thoughts. And that's when she says something like, "I don't know if I'm ready to let you go, because what if you're still with me in ways I haven't seen yet?" This emotional conflict could be the heart of the season. Not about forgetting Ty, but about finding a new kind of peace. Tribute episode in the works? Finally, one of the most powerful leaks suggests that episode 6 or 7 of the new season may be a full tribute to Ty. A quiet, reflective hour where the family gathers to honor him years after his death. It might be Lyndy's idea, or Amy's. Or maybe a dream sequence triggers it. One source described this episode as a spiritual echo. Not a return, not a ghost, but a memory turned into something you can feel. If it happens, fans should prepare for tears. This could be the show's way of giving Ty a proper goodbye. Or possibly, a way to open the door for his story to guide what comes next. Of course, none of this is officially confirmed. These are leaks, rumors, whispers. But they're coming from places that, in the past, have gotten details right. And if even half of this is true, then Heartland Season 19 isn't just continuing the story. It's finishing a chapter that's been left open too long. Next, we'll look at what the cast themselves have hinted, and how their words might quietly confirm what we're all hoping is true. Sometimes it's not what they say, it's what they don't. A pause too long. A glance to the side. A smile that fades just a little too quickly after a question about Ty Borden. Heartland's cast has done dozens of interviews over the years, but recently, something's changed. The tone is quieter. The answers feel careful, as if there's something just beneath the surface, something they want to say, but can't. Not yet, and that's where the fans come in. Watching, listening, noticing. Let's take a closer look at what the cast has said and what it might mean. Amber Marshall. Amy's not done healing. Amber Marshall, who plays Amy Fleming, has always spoken with deep care about her character and the loss of Ty. But during a recent Q&A at a fan event, she said something that caught attention. When asked if Amy might ever find peace, she smiled and answered, "I think Amy's healing journey still has one more big step to take, and it's coming." That was it. No spoilers, no details. But that word, coming, made fans pause. What kind of step is she talking about? A new love? A final goodbye? Or is it something deeper? A reconnection with Ty in a way we haven't seen before? Later in the same session, she added, "There are scenes this season that were hard to film, not because they were sad, but because they felt so full." Again, not much. But when actors speak about scenes that feel full, it often means emotionally packed, moments that close a door or open a new one. Graham Wardle. Silence that speaks. Then there's Graham Wardle, the man behind Ty Borden. After leaving the show, Graham has kept a respectful distance from Heartland interviews. But in a recent podcast he hosts himself, he briefly brought up the subject. He was talking about closure in general and said, "Sometimes a story doesn't end the way people expect. And sometimes that's not the end at all." That one sentence lit up fan groups across Reddit, TikTok, and Facebook. Many believe it's a hint, a gentle nod that he may have filmed something for season 19, even a flashback or voiceover. And while there's been no official confirmation, the timing of that comment was interesting. Some fans even noted that around the same time his podcast aired, Heartland's official Instagram followed him again. Coincidence? Maybe, but maybe not. Social media clues and hidden hints. Social media has become the new detective board for fans. Amber Marshall recently posted a behind-the-scenes photo of the loft, Ty's old space. The caption simply read, "Memories live here." It's not a spoiler, but it's not nothing either. Another crew member posted a photo of the set, quickly deleted, showing a photo of Ty pinned to the fridge, something that hasn't been seen since season 15. That small detail made fans wonder, why bring that back now? Sean Johnston, Jack, posted a video saying this season is about legacy and how people shape us even after they're gone. In a show like Heartland, that kind of line isn't random. The vibe is clear. Season 19 is not about forgetting. Ty, It's about reconnecting to him in ways that are emotional, respectful, and possibly very powerful. A cast that still feels the loss. What's become clear through these interviews and clues is this: the cast loved working with Graham. And Ty's absence isn't just a plot point. It's a real emotional shift for everyone involved. When they talk about him, their voices soften, their eyes lower, their tone changes. You can feel it, even now, seasons later. And maybe, maybe, the writers knew that too. Maybe they felt it was finally time to give both the characters and the fans something more. Not a rewrite, not a return, but a reconnection. A way to say, he was here. He mattered. And his story still shapes everything. It started with silence. The moment Ty Borden died, everything changed. Not just on screen, but in living rooms around the world. For some fans, it felt like losing a friend. For others, it was a piece of their own story being taken away. And while Heartland carried on, a part of its soul felt like it stayed frozen in that single heartbreaking moment. But now, with season 19 just around the corner, the silence is starting to break. Fans are talking again, not just about what happened, but about what could happen next. Global shock, global healing across social media, Heartland fans from every corner of the world, Canada, the US, Brazil, India, the UK, are sharing one feeling: hope. Not necessarily hope that Ty will come back from the dead. Most know the show won't take that route, but hope that his story isn't finished. That Amy, Lyndy, and the rest of the family might find a way to carry his memory in a new way. That we as viewers might get the emotional closure we've been waiting for. On YouTube, dozens of trailer breakdowns are racking up hundreds of thousands of views. One of the top comments reads, "I'm crying, and it's only the trailer." If Ty really left something behind for Amy and Lyndy, I don't think I'm ready. Another post on a Heartland Reddit thread says, "What if the new character isn't just Ty's half-brother? What if he's carrying something Ty gave to his father years ago? Like a letter he never got to deliver? Imagine that scene." And perhaps the most liked comment on Facebook is simple, but powerful. "If Ty can't come back, I just want Amy to know he never really left." Fan theories. Heartfelt and haunting. Fan theories about season 19 range from deeply emotional to wildly imaginative, but all of them point toward one thing: Ty's spirit still matters. Some believe Lyndy will have a dream episode where she meets Ty in a quiet place, a memory, a vision, something soft and symbolic. Others think Amy will find a recording or a letter Ty left behind years ago, finally surfacing at just the right moment. There's even a theory that Amy's final arc this season will be shaped by a decision Ty once made, something she only learns about now, giving her the strength to let go of the guilt she's quietly carried since his death. Some of the most emotional theories come from fans who have lost people in real life. They see Heartland not just as a show, but as a mirror of grief, growth, and healing. One fan wrote, "Amy's journey helped me after I lost my husband. I don't need Ty to come back. I just want her to find peace, because it gives me peace." 2. Why Ty's legacy still matters. What season 19 seems to be building toward, if the trailer and the leaks and the cast interviews are to be believed, isn't a shock return or a dramatic twist. It's something quieter, something more powerful. It's legacy. It's the idea that someone can be gone and still shape every moment that comes after. That love, when it's real, doesn't end. It transforms. Ty Borden isn't just a memory. He's part of the land, the horses, the family. He's part of Lyndy's smile and Amy's strength. He's the reason Jack still looks at every new ranch hand with a little more kindness. He's the echo in the loft, the warmth in the sunrise, the story behind every heartbeat of the ranch. Fans aren't asking for Ty to return. They're asking for his story to finish. And now, in season 19, it finally might. Final thoughts. More Than a Show, Heartland has always been more than just a series. For some, it's comfort. For others, it's connection. And for millions of fans, it's the place where they first fell in love with Ty Borden. Not because he was perfect, but because he grew. Because he fought for a second chance. Because he loved And love, as Heartland has taught us, doesn't die. It rides on. So whatever season 19 brings, whether it's a letter, a flashback, a dream, or just a quiet moment where Amy finally finds peace, one thing is clear. Ty Borden never really left. And now, it's time for his final story to be told.